Well, we'd like to welcome you to CPHS Channel 6 uh, television station for Port Huron Athletics here tonight. Uh, Here tonight we have Craig Delkey working with Tom Rodenbaugh on this beautiful Friday evening. We have the Anchor Bay Tars against the Port Huron High Big Reds. Right now, Craig, this sun is really difficult to see here.
Yes, and it's going to be less of a problem for us, I think, than maybe it would be for a receiver trying to catch a ball coming from the west to the east. Not much of a wind tonight. I see the flag is, well, it's hanging still right now, but it was blowing a little bit from wind coming out of the west.
It's amazing what a
Out of
few
the east,
hours
sorry.
can do. Also, this morning we had a nice steady rain. I know we didn't, at least in Fort Gratiot, and cleared up nice this afternoon. And I'm sure the field's in great shape when we were down there. It seemed like nice and soft and in perfect conditions for tonight's game.
Yeah, it's moist enough. Should keep the dust out of their eyes tonight for most of the game, anyways.
Okay, it looks like we have the Big Reds kicking off. They have Don Rock. Looks like he's going to be the guy kicking off today. Looks like deep for the Tars, number 5.
And number 9.
That's Rulon, Gage Rulon, and number 9, you said?
Yes, Matt Drake.
Okay. Okay, here we are getting ready to kick off the start. This is the Blue Conference, Macomb Area Conference Blue Conference game, league game. Looks like a soft kick. Picked up and brought out to about the 30-yard line by, it looks like, number 9. That would be Matt Drake. So the Tars will take over here first and 10, balls on the 30-yard line. They will be heading to the north end zone. Craig, if you get a chance, and you might want to mention some of the offensive linemen here so we can get their names mentioned. Looks like number 52 is coming out over the ball. That would be Ryan Erickson. I'm sorry, that's not. It's Andrew Lobestall. At quarterback is number 17. Number 17 is Zach Height. He hands off to Jones, Taiwan Jones, for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. I'll make that 5 yards. It'll be second down and 5 from the 35-yard line. A couple key players that we've heard about, Craig, from the Anchor Base side is this Taiwan Jones, number 4, and this Gage Rulon, number 5. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on here tonight. Looks like they come out with a split offense. They shift into a wing here. Ball's handed off to number 10.
Yeah, it looks like they tried to do a little trapping there, and the Big Reds stuffed that really well.
Ed Perry on the carry. Looks like a gain maybe a yard. It'll be third down and 4. On the tackles, Mr. Palmatier for the Big Reds.
Now let's kind of check out, even though it's a third down situation here, obvious passing. Let's see what the Big Reds line up in.
Okay, split here. Number 5, Gage Rulon. To our side, in motion is number 4. That's Taiwan Jones. We have a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think it's going to be movement by Anchor Bay. It appeared to be.
Yeah, we have the Big Reds are pointing in that direction.
Ball start against Anchor Bay. 5-yard block up.
It'll be a 5-yard penalty for the Tars. It'll be third and 10, balls on the 30-yard line.
And when it was third and 5, it looked like the Big Reds were, I know they play a 4, but they had 5 men on the line, and it looked like 4 deep in the secondary. Let's see if they change it up at all now that it's third and 10.
Number 5,
No, the same
Roland,
look.
comes to this side. In motion again is Taiwan Jones. Looks like another motion penalty possibly here.
Yep. Anchor Bay's got to get some wrinkles out here to start the game.
Well, you know, generally you see those kind of things maybe in game 1, possibly maybe game 2, but this is the third game. You'd hope these little little mental mistakes will be worked out.
Yeah, it kind of becomes a coach's nightmare to start a game off with that many penalties in your first series. That's a lack of poise and concentration right now on the Anchor Bay's part.
Out over the ball is number 52, Lovestall, Andrew Lovestall. Oh, another penalty. Another motion penalty. Might not be a bad time to call a timeout and get things straightened out here. It's 3 straight penalties in a row here.
Yeah, it looked like one of the linemen had set, and then when they shifted, he picked his hand up, which you're not allowed to do. Once you set, you got to stay set.
Yeah, it looked like Andrew Messina. He's one of their linemen. Also plays linebacker, I guess, on defense.
Well, we're now at 3rd and 20, so it's tough to pull a play out of the book for this.
Split wide this way is Nicholas Black. Split to the other side is Gage Rowland.
Oh, big rush by the Big Reds.
Zach
17,
Height.
Zamalit.
Zach Height dropped back for a pass and got run down for a sack. That'll bring up 4th and long for the Tars. Let's see what we got here. Be 4th and 30, it looks like.
Yeah, that was not the way you want to have your opening series in a game. For offense. Defensively, it was great.
Oh, absolutely. Deep for the Big Reds is Jarrett Chapman, number 6.
Big Reds were close on the rush there.
Oh, it touched him. He's going to need to he picked up the ball. Good job. Nice job. I think Jarrett wanted to get away from it, but it bounced up and hit him, and he had the foresight to track it down and pick it up and get a decent gain on that.
He had about a 9 or 10 yard return there.
Well, the Big Reds have great field position here. The ball is going to be on the 36-yard line of Anchor Bay. Be first down and 10. At quarterback for the Big Reds is number 7. That'd be Justin Black. Split wide this side is number 3, Chapman Winslow. It looks like they have trips to the other side. Black will drop back. Throw is to number 6, Jarrett Chapman. Incomplete. It'll bring down 2nd down and 10 for the Big Reds. There's a penalty on the flag.
Yeah, the flag on the play looks, I think, number 20 on his excitement on his rush there. He hit the quarterback well after he released the ball.
Okay.
So I think we're going to find the ball moving ahead for the Big Reds.
Taking a while here to sort things out. It looks like it will be against the Big Reds. We'll wait here to see what the call is.
Oh, against the Tars.
15-yard walk-off takes the ball down to the 21-yard line.
Okay, 15-yard penalty against the Tars. That'll bring up first down and 10. We got 9 minutes left in this quarter. Again, the Big Reds are in the spread formation. Split wide are number 6, number 8, and number 10. Chapman, Robotham, and Chapman.
Justin Black on the keeper.
Yeah, it was almost like a quarterback trap there, sort of like that option read that you see some teams running.
Looks like Smolik's coming in for the Big Reds. He'll replace number 10, Mark Chapman. Again, the Big Reds are in the spread offense. Split wide to the right is number 3, Winslow Chapman. To this side is Jarrett Chapman. Mr. Black is calling the play now, and it looks like a timeout, Big Reds.
Timeout for Huron.
Well, I have to say that penalties seem to be a big part of the game so far, and they've been all in the favor of the Big Reds.
Yes. And they actually have great field position right now. The ball being on the 21-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have
Really, there is no wind here to speak of. You know, if there is one, it might be a slight one coming out of the north to south, but there really isn't very much of one. Sounds like we've got George Udell over announcing the game, and we've got a couple here celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. That's wonderful. Now, Craig, the other thing we want to take a look at as as this game unfolds, maybe, is to see how many players both teams have going two ways here. Although it's not very hot and humid out, you know, it's the fewer players that you have going two ways, the better. Okay, Big Reds are back out on the field. They've got trips to the left. Split out right is Chapman. Black's back to throw. Sees Chapman, number 6.
Yeah,
it's Jarrett Chapman.
He was open for a minute there, but a nice recovery by the secondary of Anchor Bay.
On the coverage.
I've had the opportunity to come by and watch some practices, and I know you and I were here earlier yesterday and watched a little bit of practice. Porter High has got some talented kids in their skill positions, quarterback, receiving, and backs. They've really got some talent there.
Yes, and some of them will be back and around next year too.
Yes. They really like to spread the field out, which is to their advantage when they have those kind of skill positions. Looks like we're going to have a timeout here for Anchor Bay. It'll be their first timeout of the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again,
well, hopefully during their timeout, their coach can, their coach will hope to make some adjustments and get them fired up. They, to be very honest with you, they have not looked sharp. They've made some, penalties, and it's really helped the Big Reds. And then again, hopefully the Big Reds can put something together here and make an exciting score.
We'll go through some of the roster here for the Big Reds. Seeing some action already tonight. Number 3, Winslow Chapman. Number 5, Donald Rock. Number 6, Jarrett Chapman. Number 7, Justin Black. Number 8, Tyler Robotham. Number 17, Alex Malik. Number 1, Therese Watkins. Okay, they're back on offense here. We got number 7 back at quarterback, Justin Black. We've got trips out to the right, split left. Black's rolling to his right, looking for someone downfield. The pass is intended for Tyler Robotham. A little bit high. Pass is incomplete.
Ball's incomplete. Carson Barzinski covering on the play. Brings up 4th and 10.
That'll be 4th and 10 for the Big Reds. I'm sure that with the field position here on the 21-yard line, they'll elect to go for it. I don't know if they have a kicker that can kick one that far.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that they're going to line up for a field goal, so they're going for it. 4th and 10. Big play for the Big Reds here.
Chapman split wide in the slot. Robotham. Also in the slot, Don Rock. And split to this side is Chapman Winslow. Looks like a quick toss out to number 1, Therese Watkins.
Justin Black's pass complete to Therese Watkins.
Didn't gain as much as they needed. Gain of about 1. It'll be the Tars ball. 1st and 10 on. Looks like about the, what we have here, 23-yard line.
Yeah. Well, I would say Anchor Bay dodged a bullet on that series right there.
Absolutely. Yep.
24-yard line.
Well, maybe both teams will get the cobwebs out now, and we'll see some action.
Defensively for the Big Reds, we've got Chapman Winslow. Winslow Chapman. Jarrett Chapman. At quarterback, number 17 for the Tars. That's Zach Height. Height hands off to Taiwan Jones. He gains, looks like about 6 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4. Ball's
Gain
on
about 7 on the play.
the,
Second down and 3
looks
to
like,
go from
30-yard line.
30-yard line.
Yep. Yeah, I think we're going to see number 4, Mr. Jones for Anchor Bay carry the brunt of the offense as far as touches on the ball.
Zach Height calling the signals. In motion is number 4. That is Taiwan Jones.
Yep. Nice job by the defensive line.
Yep, ball was given to number 10,
Ed Perry, the ball carrier.
Ed Perry.
Down by Chris Warzinski.
Chris Wazinski was in on the tackle, and
Yeah, and
Tyler
so was
Robach.
and Connor Palmatier.
Again, it'll be now 3rd down and 4 for the Tars.
Second tackler, Dominic Schultz.
In talking with some of the Port Huron High coaches, it seems as though the main thing is they're going to have to stop the run of the Tars.
Yeah, and in particular, number 4.
Yep, Taiwan Jones is split out this way. In motion is number 5, Gage Rowland.
Nice play.
Gage Rowland's the carrier.
Initial contact made by Mike LaForge. Brings up 4th down and about 2 from the 26-yard
Well, it's going to be 4th down
correction
for the Tars.
31-yard line.
Kicking looks like number 44. That would be Melvin Bailey. Deep, I can't see who's deep.
It's Chapman again, number 6.
Anchor Bay.
He's backing up. Good, handles it well.
Nice run.
Yeah, nice return.
Jared Chapman on the punt return.
Made a cut, used a block, and gosh, he probably had a return of about 16, 17 yards there, maybe 20.
Again, that's Jarrett Chapman, the returner of that punt. He returns it all the way out to the Tars 48-yard line, it looks like, where it'll be 1st and 10. Split to this side is Split to this side is
Number 3.
Chapman Winslow.
Winslow.
Chapman.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow. That was a fired up play by the defensive line there for Anchor Bay.
Yep, Therese Watkins was the ball carrier there.
Therese Watkins, the ball carrier, brought down by Chris Dodd. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
Chapman split wide to the far side. In the backfield is Therese Watkins, along with Justin Black. Black looking deep to his right. He's got a guy wide open, number 10.
It's going to be close. Nice throw and catch there.
That pass is to Mark Chapman.
Nice protection by the offensive line.
Black to Chapman. Ball's down on the 1-yard line. You could see that develop. That was a very nice play. Watkins in the backfield. Watkins gets the carry. He's hit there immediately by number 9.
Number 9.
Matthew Drake.
Yeah, Drake just flapped his ears and away he went, and he came right off the edge.
Coming in for the Big Reds is number 9, Matthew Drake, and number 5, Gage Rowland. I'm sorry. Looking at the wrong
Dominic Schultz
one here.
and Don Rock.
Yep, looking at the wrong one here. Black tapes. Oh, is that a fumble? No.
Wow, I think it is.
Yeah, looks like a touchback.
I'm not sure what happened there, if he meant to hand it off or not, but I think he meant to, and didn't have a good pocket or didn't make the connection with it.
Well, the Tars will take over on their own 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Seem to have a little more mistakes than probably both coaches would like to have at this point in the game. We've got About 7.5 minutes into the game, and been quite a few mistakes so far, but that's okay. Get them finished early without any damage, and hopefully learn from those mistakes. Number 4 is the ball carrier. That's Taiwan Jones. Hit pretty solidly there by Dominic Schultz.
Yeah, it was a good pursuit. He did break a tackle, but Port High pursued very well and swarm tackled him there.
It'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Tars. Tars look like they have some pretty good size in the offensive line. Okay, number 13 for the Tars, Nicholas Black, split to this side. On the other side, we have Gage Rowland. Handoff is to the fullback.
Yep, stuffed up very well by the interior line there.
Yep. Number 13 for the Big Reds, Mike LaForge.
And 37, Alan Rapson.
They're having a little some trouble with that defensive line right now. They're doing a nice job swarming to the ball and stuffing everything and trying to force the play to go outside.
Yeah, I think that's 2nd or 3rd trap we've seen them try, and they've gotten no yards.
Black split wide to the top. Jones split to this side. We've got motion in the backfield. Looks like a sprint out left. Oh, incomplete. Pass was intended for Perry. It'll bring up a 4th down and 4 for the Tars. Looks like they're shifting their punt formation in at this time. Jared Chapman's deep for the Big Reds.
You know, last time I thought the Big Reds they had a couple guys that were fairly close.
Number 44, Melvin Bailey punting.
They were close again. Short punt, but they got it roll, and it went out of bounds about the 39.
You know, you're seeing more and more players, or more and more teams. Looks like that rugby type punt. I don't know if they're looking for the ball to be able to stop, but it doesn't look like your traditional type of punt. Well, Duck, you're going to need to help me out here. I can't see through these windows here.
Yeah, the sun it's just over the top of the stadium there, and it's tough to see where we're sitting. The alignments don't seem to be changing much. Big Reds are lined up in a sort of a bunch trips over here. Oh, now they're shifting back to a twins in a slot to the left.
Chapman and Robotham to this side.
Oh, and a little reverse. They tried to reverse, and it was defended fairly well, turned it back in, and he got a yard or two, but they defended it fairly well.
That'll bring us up a 2nd down, and looks like about
Yeah, it
10
still
to
looks
go.
like 10, yeah. Though I thought he gained a yard.
Looks like there's some conversation out there. I didn't see a flag, but looks like there must
Maybe
have
they
been
weren't
one
set.
thrown.
'Cause they did a little shifting around, and the ball got snapped pretty quick, so they may not have been set.
False start called against Port Huron.
No, false start.
5-yard walk-off.
Okay, we have a false start by the Big Reds. It'll be 1st and 15. Ball's on the 26. Make that 36-yard line.
Quick flip pass out here.
Pass is complete to number 3, Winslow Chapman.
Justin Black's pass complete to Winslow Chapman. Brought down by Taiwan Jones.
Looks like a gain of maybe 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Big Reds.
Yeah, the Big Reds number 54 and Anchor Bay 21 here, they had a little exchange after the play, so hopefully they'll forget about that and not get a penalty for either of them.
Justin Black calling plays here in the signal. Looks like he's going to throw to the right-hand side. Ball is caught there by number 10, Mark Chapman. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough for a first
No, he's
down.
going to be 3-4 yards short.
So it'll bring up a third and about the long 2.
Yeah.
The ball is on the 48-yard line at this time.
All right, a little different look on the set here for PH.
In the slot, we've got Don Rock and Jarrett Chapman. Black look in his wristband.
A lot of open field out here.
Ball's handed off to
Nice run.
number
Nice
6.
spin.
That is Jarrett Chapman. Nice run there.
Yeah, it was blocked well and nice run.
Jarrett will pick up the first down for the Big Reds. It'll be 1st and 10 on their 20-yard line. Split to this side is Smolik. In the slot, it looks like we've got Don Rock. Who else? Ooh, nice run.
Yeah, he was just a hair away from breaking that one.
Chapman's the ball carrier. He had a nice jumped over a guy that was down on the ground and gained up probably another 5 or 6 yards. That's good vision on the part of the offensive back. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Black on the signals, and looks like we've got a false start there by number 10, Mark Chapman.
Cardinal sin by a wideout. Can't be offsides. You got to be looking at that ball.
Split to this side is Smolik again. Split wide the other side is Chapman, Mark Chapman. Number 8 is also out there in the slot, Robotham. Black calling the signals. Looks over to the sideline here at Coach Mullins. Going to change the play. Black drops back, looks to his left.
Oh, nice play by the second.
Looks like an interception. Ball is intercepted by number 21
Yep.
for Anthony Meisowitz, looks like, for the Tars.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything negative about a player, but I think Justin threw that one off his back foot, and it didn't have enough zip on it, and it allowed number 21 to step in front.
You know, and the receiver did a nice job there too, Duck. He actually planted and was coming back to the ball.
Yeah.
It's just that the defensive back made a nice break on that. Okay, coming out over to center for the Tars is number 52. That is Andrew Loventhal. We apologize for any butchering we do of names here. Ball's handed off to number 10.
Yeah, he was lined up in the fullback spot.
That is Ed Perry. Looks like he's going to pick up a first down for the Tars. Or do we have another penalty here?
I think we're good.
I don't see a flag down, but okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's the first.
Okay, it'll be 1st and 10. The ball's on the 43-yard line for the Tars. Got 26 seconds left in this quarter. At quarterback, Zach Height. Hands off to number 10 again.
Yeah, same play, reverse pivot.
Ed Perry, the ball carrier. Looks like a gain of about 5. Bring up 2nd down and 5. And Craig, that's the end of the first quarter of play here. Well, both teams having a little bit of mistakes here early going in this game. Penalties. Port Huron High had a great opportunity there earlier. Actually had the ball down, looked like on a 1-yard line on 1st and goal on the 1, and looked like we had a quick snap, and the ball was fumbled, and Anchor Bay recovered it in the end zone for a touchback. And other than that, the two teams have kind of just been hitting back and forth a little bit. I think there's been a couple of punts by both teams. So again, they're just looks like both teams are evenly matched. It should be a good game. It's just a matter of minimizing the mistakes that they've had so far.
I think that's the key right there, Tom, minimizing the mistakes, because that's pretty much what has put the stops on both teams offensively is mistakes. Not to take anything away from either team's defense, they both have played fairly well, but mistakes, penalties have stopped drives for both teams. Porter and I have unofficially 3 first downs that first quarter, and Anchor Bay 1 first down.
Well, it's second down, and it looks like about 4 for the Tars. At quarterback is number 17, Zach Height. Height hands off to number 5, Gage Rowland. Rowland still fighting for extra yardage. Looks like he's going to pick up a first down for the Tars. The ball will be spotted on, it looks like, about the 41-yard line.
You know, Mr. Rodenbaugh, when we were talking to the Port Huron coaches the other day, they said they had to stop number 4, and then they had to stop that play right there, that guy in motion, and then the quick handoff, and he kind of sweeps or cuts it upfield off tackle. And we've seen that play twice, and it's been fairly good both times. One time it was stuffed.
Looks like we have another penalty here. Craig, see if when they break the huddle, the Tars, check them out and see if they're flip-flopping their offensive line.
Okay, I'll check that right out.
Some teams do that. They'll have a strong side line and a weak side. One side might have the quicker, faster people, say at guard, tackle, and on the other side to be the bigger ones. But I thought I might have saw some flip-flopping early on, which may be an indication of some type of plays, the type of play they might be running.
Right. Oh, there's a fullback.
There's number 9, the ball carrier. That would be Matthew Drake.
Matthew Drake, the ball carrier.
He's going to gain, looks like, about 4 yards.
Yeah, see, now that time they faked that quick handoff to the motion back and gave it to the back right up the middle.
Craig, if you get a chance to here, you might want to read off some of the players we have here starting on defense. Try to get them going here. Height breaks the huddle. Ball's handed off again to number 10. He's kind of been the workhorse for them. Ed Perry. Looks like he's gained enough for another Tar first down. The ball will be 1st and 10 from the Big Red 30-yard line.
Well, it looks like the secondary's they're making a change here. Number 10's coming out, but 14, 23, 6 for the Big Reds. So I don't know if they're playing 3, like a cover 3. They got 3, 6, 14, and
ball's handed off again to number 10. He seems to be their workhorse there. That'd be Ed Perry again. I know that in speaking with the coaches, they said that they had a couple good backs. Actually, Perry, we didn't think was going to be their better back, but we have yet to see Taiwan Jones. He's supposed to be another great back, but right now the guy carrying the load is Ed Perry for the Tars.
Yeah, and I think the Big Reds said, they have to stop that number 4, and I think they've done a pretty good job of that. So Anchor Bay said, well, maybe we better give the ball to somebody else, and right now that seems to be working for them. So hopefully the Big Reds will get it together here in this timeout, and they'll put a stop to this offensive charge by the Anchor Bay Tars.
Well, some of the players that we have playing for the defensively for the Big Reds: Winslow Chapman, number 3, Jared Chapman, number 6, Dominic Schultz, linebacker, number 9. He's number 10, Mark Chapman, number 11, Zachary DeBuff, is it? Mike LaForge, number 13. Taj King, number 14. Alex Zmalik, number 17. Julian Brown, number 23. Alan Rapson, number 37. And Connor Palmatier, 54. Chris Orzinski, number 77. And Jordan Small.
Yeah, he's listed as 99, but I think he's wearing jersey 89.
Height dropping back,
pass
looking for
here.
number 4.
Nice
Jump ball,
job.
nice job. Intercepted there by Jarrett Chapman. Big play.
Yeah, that was great coverage all the way. He timed his jump perfectly and came up with the ball.
Looks like there's a penalty flag on the ball. Penalty flag here.
Well, let's hope it's not on the Big Reds.
He played that. He really played that very well. He caught the ball at its highest point, which is sometimes difficult to teach defensive backs, but he did it. It was great coverage and a nice job actually taking the ball away. Now, this isn't necessarily good. They're talking to the Tars here. Talking to number 17, Height. Zach Height.
Personal foul, roughing the passer against 40.
Okay.
Ooh, that's
The
a
call
big
looks
penalty.
like roughing the passer for the Big Reds, which will bring up a automatic first down for the Tars. The ball looks like it'll be placed on about the 11-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Anchor Bay on the Big Red 11.
That's a big turnaround play right there.
Yep.
You know, we talked about penalties in the first quarter, hurting both teams. This could be a very costly penalty for the Big Reds.
Okay, Height comes back over center.
Pretty tight on their formation, unless they shift out of it.
Ball's handed off to number 5. Great play there by Dominic Schultz, number 9. Ball carrier was Matthew Drake, again brought down by Dominic Schultz.
Anchor Bay brought down by Jordan Small.
Great pursuit on the part of the Big Reds
No gain
in
on the
that
play,
play.
2nd and 10.
In the trenches for the Big Reds looks like number 77. That's Chris Brzezinski, 54. Connor Palmatier. Height again comes out over center. Split wide to this side is Gage Rowland. Ball's handed off to number 10. He's been the workhorse this quarter. That's Ed Perry.
And you just mentioned Chris Wersinski, and he made a nice play on that.
Ed Perry, the ball carrier for Anchor Bay, brought down by
Big play here to bring up 3rd down and about 9 for the Tars. Again, the ball's on
3rd and 9 from the
it
10-yard
looks like
line.
the 10-yard line.
This is a big play right here. Big play for the Big Reds.
In the secondary, number 23, Julian Brown, and number 14, Taj King. Tars shift out of the
We've got Jones
initial
out wide here to
formation.
the left.
balls. Looks like a missed handoff. Ball's kept by the quarterback, Gage. Zach Height's in for the score. Looked like a broken play there, Craig. And usually what you try to teach the kids, if you miss a handoff, and try to tell the quarterback, if you missed a handoff, follow the play up into the hole, and Height did that at that time. So there's 8:10 left on the board here in the second quarter. Anchor Bay just scored, going ahead 6-0. Kicking. Looks like there's going to be a timeout here. Timeout, Big Reds.
Timeout for Huron.
They did a nice job there as far as finally coming up with the big play, the interception, to stop that drive, and unfortunately, penalty cost them there and set up a first and 10 from the 11-yard line, and 2 plays later they're able to punch it in for the score. Lots of time obviously left in this game, though. I mean, the Big Reds have shown that they can move the ball. It's just a matter of trying to eliminate the mistakes and capitalize if they can.
Yeah, if they can put together Well, I don't know if Anchor Bay is going to go for 2. Maybe they are. Either way, if they go for 2 or 1, hopefully the Big Reds make a nice play, and then I'd like to see a nice return, maybe a TD. But if not, I'd like to see the Big Reds put it together here.
Well, the Big Reds have shown that they have the ability to have some decent returns. I think Chapman has returned the ball on a couple of punts and done a nice job, and I'm sure you might be surprised to see the Anchor Bay kick off to the Big Reds because of some of the threats that they have returning. Kicking for Anchor Bay is number 22. That is, I don't have a 22. Do you have a 22?
No, I don't.
Is good, and with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half.
Well, the point is good. Number 22. Sorry, we don't happen to have his number. So with 8:10 left here in the second quarter, Anchor Bay goes on top 7-0.
And you mentioned Port Huron's ability to return kickoffs, and on the opening kickoff, the ball was kicked short and off to the side so that there might not be much of a return. So both teams might be a little bit afraid about some of the return possibilities here. So we'll see. Let's hope the Big Reds handle this and pick up some yardage on it, get themselves in good field position.
Keeper Winslow Chapman and Jared Chapman for the Big Reds. Up short's number 1. Therese Watkins, along with number, looks like 20, is it? Or 21? 21, King Tomlinson.
Oh, wow, squib kick there, kind of a bouncer.
Got to get on it, got to get on it.
Okay, that's it, just
Okay.
cover it.
King Tomlinson recovers the ball for the Big Reds. Ball's going to be on about the 25-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Big Reds.
It'll be 1st and 10 from there for Port Huron.
Definitely a lot of time in this ball game. It's just a matter of cleaning up some mistakes and taking some time off the clock. And now, Port Huron High is a quick strike team as well. I mean, they've got the ability to strike real quick and get this game knotted up here real quick. Number 4 comes in for the Big Reds. That's Montez Jackson joining Justin Black in the backfield. Black takes the ball, looking downfield, fakes the handoff to Jackson, but he's runs out of time, is sacked on the play.
By Melvin Lewis. Lewis put some pressure on earlier.
Ball's on the 19, and we'll bring up 2nd down and about, looks like 20, or I'll make that, George says 16 or 17. Looks a little longer than that, but we'll call it that. Split wide to this side is Chapman. In the slot is Robotham.
Looks like they're going with a 4-man
Black
rush.
takes the ball back. Ball's thrown to number 10, Chapman. Great run by Chapman. Great run by Chapman.
Yeah, nice catch. Went up to get it, caught it in his hands.
That's going to be enough for a 1st down for the Big Reds.
Now that Mark Chapman, he's only a sophomore, so he'll be around next year too.
37-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Big Reds.
Okay, split wide to this side now is Smolik. In a slot, it looks like number 4 in the backfield is Montez Jackson. Wide to the far side, Winslow Chapman. They've got them spread all the way across the field here, Craig. Looks like a trap here. Oh, nice stick there.
Well, I was kind of watching the defensive line there, and that's number 10, who was the running back. All he did was bear crawl in, and he got underneath the offensive line and then wiggled his way right through there.
Looked like it might have been a broken play there again. It did look like they pulled the left guard, so it might have been a trap play, but to no avail here. Again, in the backfield, we have Justin Black. Split to the top, it's number 3, Winslow Chapman. Split down here to this side is Smolik. Watkins in the backfield. Looks like a quick screen. quick screen to number 3,
Justin
Winslow
Black,
Chapman.
complete to Winslow Chapman.
Completed for looks like about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, it was well covered by Anchor Bay, but Winslow Chapman made the first tackler miss,
Third and about 8.
and he got a few yards there. Good move by him.
3rd down and 8 for the Big Reds. Spreading things out to this side, to the near side. Black takes a snap.
Uh-oh.
Boy, he was blindsided that time by number 44 for the Tars.
Justin Black tackled in the backfield by
That's Melvin Bailey.
Yeah, he got the jump on the rush. He got the inside on him.
33-yard line. 4th down and 14 to go.
Punting for the Big Reds is number 6, it looks like. Jarrett Chapman.
Jared Chapman drops into punt
Deep
formation
for Anchor Bay
Huron.
is Taiwan Jones.
Deep for Anchor Bay.
Looks like a little movement here by the Big Reds. We'll see here. I heard some whistles, but don't see any flags.
I think it's a illegal procedure.
Are they a little
Start against the Big
we're working
Reds.
the refs too hard here? They can't even reach and pull their flag out here, or what?
27-yard
I
line.
don't know.
4th and 19.
Looks like about 4th and 19.
Yeah, or 20.
Nice snap.
Oh, rolling.
Again, that's that
punt.
rugby type kick.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was close. In fact, they got a roughing the kicker, which will be a big penalty against.
You wonder now. I don't. Again, how many steps can you take with the ball like that before a team knows whether or not you're going to punt the ball or you're going to run the ball?
That would be my question. See, at that point, I would have thought that he was running the ball also, and so you go to tackle him, and then he kicks it. And
right.
you make contact, it's going to be a penalty. So I guess it's a great offensive play. I remember years ago when I was coaching, that was a big call against Port Huron Northern versus East Detroit, and it allowed East Detroit to win the game. Talking about coaching many years ago, as I look at these rosters, I happened to coach over at Central when it was a high school, and the fathers of the Chapmans and Justin Black, and then when I was over at Northern one time, the Zamalek, his dad. So there's a lot of kids out here that I coach their dads, so I'm feeling kind of old up here in the booth tonight.
Well, that's going to be an automatic 1st down for the Big Reds.
Yeah, that's
a nice break on their part.
That is a big break. And hopefully number 6, he's off the field, so I hope he didn't get hurt.
Smolik, Robotham to this side. Split to the far side is Winslow Chapman. Black calling the signals. Black's going to keep the ball. Tackled there by number 9. That'll be Matthew Drake. That'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that kind of looked like that Reds. Quarterback trap type of play.
Okay.
Out to the 45-yard line. 2nd down to 7 yards to go.
Again, we have Smolik split wide here. Robotham in the slot. To the top, we've got, looks like Winslow Chapman again.
Uh-oh.
Ball's intended for number 8, Tyler Robotham. The ball is incomplete.
That ball had a little grease on it that time.
Yep.
Got dropped a couple times.
Got to bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Big Reds. Also in the backfield is Therese Watkins, the running back that's there next to Black. Robotham split wide here. Top of the screen, we've got Chapman, Brown.
Gonna roll out here.
Black's rolling out here to the right. Knocked out of bounds. Black knocked out of bounds by number 10.
He's going to be well short of the 1st down.
Ed Payne. He's going to be short by about, looks like, 2 yards. It'll be 4th down and 2. Ball's on the 50-yard line. What do you do here, Craig?
Well, I would punt.
It looks like they're bringing in Jarrett Chapman to do that.
Yeah, I watched on the sideline to see if he had been hurt on that play, and he wasn't. Maybe they're just giving him a blow. He was standing by the coach.
Tywan Jones deep for Anchor Bay. Looks like he's moved up quite a bit from where he was last time. Number 54, the center. It's a fake. Nice job. Looks like Robotham was the ball carrier on the fake. Gain looks like about 5, maybe 7 yards. Enough for a first down. It's good. Absolutely right. It was a good place to run that. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Big Reds on Anchor Bay's 38, 39-yard line. We got 3 backs in the backfield. Black hands off to number 1, Therese Watkins. Gained about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
It was a pretty good trap block by 54.
Ball will be snapped here by number 57. That's Glenn Hartman. Black hands off. Looks like to number 1, Therese Watkins. Looked like there wasn't much of a gain there.
No, that was a trap again, and the trapping lineman went past the first guy, and decent block on the second guy, but the first guy was sitting there waiting for the ball carrier.
Winslow Chapman split wide to the left. Therese Watkins in the backfield. Dominic Schultz in there, number 9. Blocking for Justin Black on that.
Well, the line play has been the same the last 3 plays. 54 has Connor Palmatier has made a pull. Now that time they had the back go through the hole and lead for the quarterback, so it's kind of like a trap ISO.
We've got Dominic Schultz now in the slot. Split wide is Winslow Chapman. Split to this side is number 7. Justin Black being chased, and he's able to get rid of the ball.
That was a good job to get rid of the ball. The line shuffled pretty well, had the interior blocked well, but they came off both edges and forced him to...
Yeah, Aaron Berry was the one chasing him there for the Tars. So, we've got 1st and 10 for the Tars. Ball is on the, looks like 37, about the, make that the 30, yeah, about 37-yard line. Defensively, we've got number 37 for Alan Robson. Looks like a defensive end.
Oh, nice play.
Yep.
13 was sitting right there.
Matthew Drake getting stuffed.
And Mike LaForge sitting right there in the hole.
Matthew Drake, the ball carrier, brought down by Mike LaForge and Jordan Small. Pick up of about a yard of the play, 2nd and 9.
And the clock's ticking down. We're looking at only about 1 minute and 20 left here in the half.
Height takes the ball. He's rolling out to his right, looking downfield for number 13.
Oh, no.
He connects to Nicholas Black. Black chased down and tackled by Mike LaForge of the Big Reds, but not after he gained about 20 yards on the play.
Well, you know, he caught that in traffic, but the Big Reds kind of got in each other's way there, and he kind of broke out of it. And ended up being a nice tackle, but he tried to hurdle that tackle. So it was a nice catch and run by him.
Ball's on the 29-yard line with 55 seconds left. Tars trying to put together a drive here. Height's back, looking deep. And the ball is intercepted by number 14, the Big Reds, Taj King. That's a big play. Big play. They actually had that covered very, very well. There were
They
two
sure did, and
guys
I think
back
the
there.
quarterback dropped back and looked only at that receiver all the way. And the Big Red D-backs, they watched his eyes and moved right over there. Nice play.
Well, Duck, we've got Anchor Bay's athletic director up here in the booth with us.
Yeah, he's breathing. He was breathing down our backs here, you know. And
David Buskell. David, nice to see you here tonight.
Yes. Yeah, glad to have you up here.
Dave was big in the athletic support here in Northern a few years back. Got a job down at Anchor Bay, taking over their athletic program. Has done a wonderful job down there. Okay, it looks like we've got an interesting set here. Dr. Roy's spreading them out. Black under center, number 7. He's looking for number 10. Pass is complete to Chapman. Chapman looks like he gains about 10 yards. Flag on the play.
Bad penalty for PH.
Tackled by Carson Brzezinski. Flag on the play.
It was one of those penalties. Good hustle by a kid getting downfield, but he basically threw a block after the whistle, and it was right in front of the official.
Not good.
No, it'll put a bump in this drive right here with not much time.
Well, we got 39 seconds left.
Oh,
looks
wait
like
a minute, it's going the other way? Well, I guess I didn't see that right.
Foul.
Call is personal foul against Anchor Bay.
Anchor Bay doesn't like this.
No.
Looks like they're pointing the other way.
Yeah, it was the other way. I was thinking I knew I didn't see it that way, but I thought, well, I didn't see everything.
How do they say that? My bad.
Personal foul
Yeah.
against Fort Huron.
Referee made a mistake there. It is against the Big Reds.
Mark off. That'll take it down to their own 15-yard
Be interested to see what Coach Mullins does here now. If it's going to be first down, but are they still going to try to move the ball, or are they going to kind of sit on this
They
for the
got
half?
39 seconds. You might as well try something here, a couple of plays. The key will be protection. Hopefully he'll have enough time to throw. If he does, maybe he can hook up with somebody.
If the clock's right, it looks like Big Reds have used all of their timeouts. Boy, 79. Drummond for the Big Reds.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
He's a big boy, isn't he?
Well, the O-line's got their work cut out for him right here.
Hartman is the one guy starting the plays here, snapping the ball to the quarterback. Looks like it's going to be minimal gain here. It'll be second down. Looks like the Big Reds aren't in any hurry to snap the ball. They'll probably run the rest of this quarter out, and I don't see whether there's any reason for Anchor Bay to stop it at this point. Looks like that's what's going to happen here. We're going to run out the rest of this half, and the Big Reds will go into the locker room, talk over a few things.
That's the end of the first half of the score. Anchor Bay's far as 7.
Okay, well, at the end of the first half here at Memorial Stadium, we've got Anchor Bay 7, Port Huron High 0. Craig, what are your thoughts here?
Well, again, Tom, I think penalties are hurting both teams. Though Anchor Bay on their TD drive, they did put together 4 first downs. And that was big because they only had 1 first down in the first quarter. And I have unofficially 3 more first downs for the Big Reds, but then they've been hurt by penalties. So if they come out and both teams play mistake-free second half, we're going to see a different game.
Absolutely, we're going to see a great ball game. Both teams have shown they can move the ball. It's just the mistakes, again, that's kind of shooting themselves in the foot. So we are going to take a little bit of a break here, and we'll see you after the half.
All right.
year, we honor one of the great Motown legends, Stevie Wonder. Our show opens with the 1970 classic Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours, and features Kristen Kinney on trumpet. Drum majors Nicole Corbin, Leanne Lum, and Colin Kester. Is your band ready to take the field? Band, take the field. While not a Stevie Wonder original, his driving ballad version propelled For Once in My Life to the top of the charts. our performance tonight with a medley of Wonder's Superstition and one of the most recognizable Motown tunes, Uptight, but everything's all right.
Okay, we're back on. Here we go.
All righty. Big Reds are receiving the ball. Taking it now is number 3,
He was tackled by number 13.
Winslow Chapman, the ball carrier.
Nicholas Black for Anchor Bay made the tackle.
Okay, we're just getting started here in the third quarter. The score is Anchor Bay 7, Port Huron High 0. The Big Reds are taking over here with 1st and 10 on the 34-yard line. At quarterback, Justin Black, looking to his coach for his play to call. Split to this side is Jarrett Chapman. Split wide to the other side is Winslow Chapman. We've got an empty backfield here, Craig. So Black's either going to run or throw. Looks like a quarterback draw there.
It was quite a rush, but tackle made by number 10 from Anchor Bay, Ed Ferry. Oh, Perry, sorry, I'm not saying the name right. Ed Perry, number 10.
Justin Black kept that ball. Didn't gain anything, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. Again, we've got an empty backfield with Black at quarterback. Again, split to this side is Jarrett Chapman. To the other side, they've got Zmalik, Chapman, and looks like Robotham.
They had a double tight set up there, too, the Big Reds did. Anchor Bay taking a timeout.
Must be a little confusion here for Anchor Bay.
All right, well, we got a timeout going here. Let me tell you that the Channel 6 people here do a great job, and I want to tell you who they are. On the cameras, Aaron Bettinger, Cecilia Gaglio, Josiah Cradler, Sean Wendt, and the camera halftime director, Emily Desmet, showing you the band there. Did a great job tonight. The slow-mo camera, Chris Orell, and the slow-mo director, E.J. Shea. Graphics, Chad Schuler, and the production supervisor, Edward Senek. If I pronounced any names wrong, I certainly apologize. Please take it up with the Port Huron Athletic Director, Greg Wagner.
That's not fair.
We'll just pass things along that if we don't do very well, I guess.
Throwing Mr. Wagner under the bus. You know, we talked about some athletes going both ways, and here as we've got a little bit of stoppage, I see that Anchor Bay does have a few of their key athletes going 2 ways.
Yes, they do.
Okay, we've got Black at quarterback. In motion is Jarrett Chapman. Chapman will throw. He's looking deep for number 3, Winslow Chapman. That pass is incomplete. Now, I'm not sure, Craig. I'm sorry, I'm not sure, but doesn't Jarrett Chapman play a little bit of quarterback when did he play last year at that position when Black got hurt?
Yes, I do think he did, yes.
So that's another thing that other teams would have to look out for. He's got a strong arm there. Okay, Chapman split again wide here to this side. The other side, Winslow Chapman split. In the backfield is number 1, Therese Watkins, along with Black. Robotham in the slot, along with Chapman. Sounds like the Chapman show here. Black's looking downfield. Completes the pass to number 10, Mark Chapman.
Tackled by number 5, Gage Rulin.
That's going to be a little short of the first down. We'll bring down 4th down and about a long one, if you want to call it. In snapping the ball for the Big Reds is number 54, Connor Palmatier. Back to punt is number 6, or to punt is Jarrett Chapman. Looks like Anchor Bay is going to make sure they're going to punt it here. Want to make sure there's not another fake. The Big Reds were successful on a fake punt earlier in the game.
Doesn't look like there'll be much of a return then.
No, doesn't look like. The ball is snapped to Chapman. He gets off a nice punt this time.
Yes, he does.
Now if we can get a Big Red roll, and we will. Let's get down here and get on it. Oh, beautiful. Looks like the ball's going to be stopped on about the 6-inch line. That's a beautiful.
Well, it looks like he's pointing first touch at about the 3.
That's about a 70-yard kick there with the roll.
That was nice.
Well, that's a great way to start out the second half. Well, the Tars have shown that they have had some success running the ball. In the first half, the big ball carrier was Ed, is it Perry, right? I think it's Perry, number 10.
Yes.
Also in the backfield, number 4, Taiwan Jones. Looks like Jones, nope, wasn't Jones. Looks like it was number 10.
Yep, and 77 on the tackle.
Ed Payne, the ball carrier.
Chris Warsinski making that
No
tackle.
gain, no gain for Anchor Bay. It'll bring up second down and 10. Balls on the Anchor Bay, looks like 5-yard line.
No gain on the play, second and 10.
The Big Reds have been playing some pretty good defense here. If they can hold them here and force them to punt the ball, that again will give them some great field position.
Yeah, it could be a good field position exchange here on this.
Zach Height, the quarterback for Anchor Bay. They shift. Looks like he's going to keep the ball, and it looks like he's going to be tackled for a loss of about 2 yards.
Yeah, Mike LaForge, number 13. He hustled right in there. I don't think he got touched. I don't think he was blocked at all. Nice tackle.
That'll bring up a third and 11 for the Tars. Again, the ball now is on about their 4-yard line. Big play for the Big Reds.
You know, Anchor Bay's kind of gone away from getting the ball to number 4. I don't know if it's because they thought he wasn't successful or what, but we expected to see him carry the ball quite a bit more.
Number 4 is Jones. Jones is split out to the left. Ball will be handed off to number 10. He's been the workhorse for the Tars, Ed Payne. Ed gained nothing on that play. Great play by the Big Reds.
Yeah, kind of a host of tacklers there, but I think number 77 made the initial hit. He's hustling off here.
Okay, deep for the Big Reds, number 6, Jarrett Chapman. He is standing on his own 40-yard line. I think they're going to get the ball here in great position. Put a little pressure on here. That's not going to be a very good punt by number 44. Melvin Bailey.
Wow, that's about a 10-yard punt.
Oh, wow.
Big Reds are in a good spot right now. Hopefully they'll cash in.
Great position for the Big Reds. As an ex-coach, Craig, when you have your punter punt the ball like that, you want to pull him aside and say, hey, do me a favor. If you're going to punt it like that next time, let me know. Maybe I'll go for it.
Well, maybe.
Well, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Big Reds. Again, Black at quarterback. Beside him is Perez Watkins. Split wide to this side is number 17, Zamalek. Split to the other side is number 3, Winslow Chapman. And in the slot is Robotham. Dominic Schultz in the backfield. Oh, wide open. Wide open was Robotham. Ball just thrown a little bit behind him. Ran a nice pattern there to get open. It'll bring up, it'll bring down second down and goal from the 9-yard line.
Yeah, just threw, but he threw behind the receiver there. Maybe they'll try it again. He had time. The line did a nice job that time protecting.
Defensive line in number 54, Connor Palmatier and Ali Fayed to the left side here. Brown back at quarterback. Watkins flanks him to the right. Robotham in the slot. Black again looking for the slant. Pass is incomplete. Incomplete. Nice diving catch by Alex Zamalek.
In and out of his hands.
In and out of his hands. But the slant was open. Good read by the quarterback. Just a little bit short there. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Big Reds. Again, it looks like they're going to bring Zamalek, keep Zamalek wide here. At the top, we've got Winslow Chapman in the slot, Robotham, and Dominic Schultz. Also in the backfield is number 1, Therese Watkins. They're going to bring Zamalek in a little tighter. Now they split him out. Black's got the ball. He's rolling to his right, looking in the end zone. He's got quick feet. Oh, is tackled and the ball is fumbled. We'll see if where they spot this ball. Looks like they're going to spot it back on about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, because that actually would have been technically considered a lateral.
Right, correct. So that was a live ball. Had it stayed in bounds, could have been recovered by either team, but in this case, it's gone out of bounds. It's going to bring up a long 4th and goal. The ball will be on the 24-yard line. Split to this side, Smolak. In the slot is Robotham.
Yeah, Justin's got to learn to just throw the ball out of bounds, near high and near a receiver if he can on those situations instead of taking a loss.
Anchor Bay has got their defensive backs all the way back on the 4-yard line. He's looking deep. He's got him in a fade. Oh, incomplete to number 17, Smolak.
Good spot for the pass.
Yep. He threw the ball right where it had to be thrown. He was open. It was a good read by the quarterback. But the Tars will take over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 for Anchor Bay. The ball will be on the 24-yard line.
Well, that was kind of a weird series.
Yes, it was. Well, it's one of those that that's kind of going to hurt the Big Reds right now because they were definitely in a position to score there and lost a little bit of yardage. He's got to put that behind them now and concentrate on the rest of the game here ahead of them. We've got number 5 for Anchor Bay split to this side. Gage Roland. Handoff is to number 4. That's the guy we expected to see a lot of this week. That's Taiwan Jones.
Winslow Chapman made the initial stick and Schultz helped out.
And he gained about 1 yard on that, maybe 2. We'll call it 2nd down and 8 for Anchor Bay.
That was a good job by Winslow Chapman. I mean, he's a heck of a ball player, and the other guy's got a little bit of size on him, so he held his own and took his legs. Nice tackle.
Anchor Bay breaks huddle.
Uh-oh.
We got a roll out here. Nice play by number 17.
Good pressure.
Oh, big hit by number 3, Winslow Chapman.
Yep. The rush was, good thing the rush was there because number 4 was deep and open for a while. But the rush was there and the quarterback couldn't throw it long.
It's hard to see those open guys when you're running for your life.
That's right.
It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 2 for the Tars. This is a big play for the Big Reds. At linebacker for the Big Reds, number 13, Mike LaForge. Also number 9, Dominic Schultz. Number 17, Alex Smolak. Looks like a defensive end, Smolak. Anchor Bay is going to hand off to number 10.
Oh, they stuffed it. They stuffed it very well.
He is stuffed.
77 made the initial hit, but the tackle was finished up by number 13. And that was Mike LaForge, but Chris Wersinski's the one that stopped that play.
Ed Perry
he stuffed it right away.
Was smothered there by the Big Reds. Brings up about 4th down and maybe 13. I'm sorry, make that 4th and 4. I was looking at the wrong down marker. In the kick is number 44. That's Bailey. He gets it off a kick that's going to bounce. It's picked up by number 6. That's
nice run.
Chapman. Chapman does a nice job when he gets his hands on the ball.
He does, and I was just about to give him a little hard time for not handling that punt, and then he picked it up on the bounce. That made a big difference in their field position.
Well, Jared Chapman gives them some good field position here. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 49-yard line of Anchor Bay. So, Black is here talking it over with Coach Mullins, seeing what play they want to get. With him is going to be number 6, Jarrett Chapman. Number 3, Winslow Chapman. Number 10 is Mark Chapman. We're going to go in an open backfield set here.
They've got a two tights, and that's changed the defensive look too.
Black's going to hand the ball off to Chapman. Chapman stays on his feet and is going to pick up, looks like a Big Red first down.
Yep, and eventually pushed out of bounds or tackled by Matt Drake. That was a nice play. I did see an Anchor Bay shirt get tugged a little bit there, but apparently the official didn't see it, so it didn't happen.
Winslow Chapman on the carry for a first down for the Big Reds. It'll be first and 10. They need to change the down marker. It'll be first and 10. Ball on about the 39 or 38-yard line of Anchor Bay. Again, we've got an open backfield set. We've got a timeout for Anchor Bay.
Yeah, the too tight situation has created a little bit of a problem for Anchor Bay. Instead of having 4 men on the line, they're bringing the 5th one up, and I think they're not feeling comfortable now with their linebacker and secondary setup. So we might see them do something a little different when they come back out.
Now, the Big Reds do a nice job of spreading them out all over the field.
Yes, they do.
And again, that was a nice run by Chapman. You know, if the Big Reds start running the ball a little bit, you know, they might have to bring more guys up on the line of scrimmage. And, you know, they have shown that they can get behind Anchor Bay on pass plays. Anybody else we've got to talk about here tonight, though, as far as people we should be introducing or saying here? Do we get through most of our people? All right, we're back in action here. Split to this side is Jarrett Chapman. Up above is number 3, Winslow Chapman. Ball's on the ground.
Yeah, mistimed on the snap there.
Justin Black recovers the fumble. That'll bring up, looks like second down. And about almost 15.
I think they had a nice rollout set up there for quarterback Justin Black, but the snap was a little bit early and it bounced off Chapman and when he was in motion there.
Robotham and Chapman at the top. We've got Jarrett Chapman down below here. Black in the backfield with Watkins. Chapman on a quarterback draw. He's a tough runner.
Yeah, he made number 44 miss.
Justin Black on a keeper, brought down by Ed Perry.
And he turned it into a little bit of a gain there, but he was just about met right in the hole, but he made the defender miss with his spin move.
It'll bring up a third down and 11 for the Big Reds. Smolik split left. Chapman and Chapman split right. Robotham in the slot. In the backfield, Therese Watkins joining Black. Black getting his signals from Coach Mullins. Looks like he wants them to huddle up here. It'll be a timeout for the Big Reds.
Yeah, you know, last time there was the timeout for Anchor Bay because I think they wanted to make it a defensive adjustment for the too tight set, and then Porter High didn't come out in it. So I don't know what they're going to do if they do come out in it. But.
Well, we're looking here at the scoreboard, and it looks like with 3:45 left here in the third quarter, that's Portland High's first time out of the half. And Anchor Bay has already burned 2 if the clock is correct. So it's with 3:45 left, it's Anchor Bay 7, Portland High 0. Ball is at the 40-yard line of Anchor Bay for the Big Reds. And we go back into action here. It'll be third down and about, I call it 12-yard line. 12 yards, I mean, to go.
Yeah, this is a big play because even if they don't get the first down, if they get a good chunk, I think they might call themselves in 4-down territory.
Exactly.
Rather than punt, go for it.
You're right. You're right.
But they've got to get at least a good portion of it on this play.
All righty. Chapman split wide here at the top. It looks like is that Robotham's in the slot with Chapman. Smolik also there. Looks like it's going to be a quick screen here to Chapman. That's Jarrett Chapman.
Yeah, and he was tackled by number 58 for Anchor Bay, Aaron Berry. Anchor Bay just had too many people in the way.
It'll bring up 4th down and 17 for the Big Reds. Back deep is Jarrett Chapman to punt. Taiwan Jones doesn't know if he should go back or not for Anchor Bay, but now he slides back for the punt. And again, that's that running punt that they had earlier. Another
Nice
good Big Red bounce. Ball is stopped. That looks like about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that was a great punt.
40-yard. That's a 40-yard punt with the roll for Chapman. Again, excellent field. Well, not excellent. The Big Reds have done a great job of putting Anchor Bay in bad field position on their first 2 drives of this half.
Yeah, and they've got to cash in the next time, and they need to make a stop here and take advantage of field position.
Okay, Anchor Bay breaks huddle here. At quarterback's number 17, Zach Height. Height rolls out to the left, hits number 4 on the flat, Taiwan Jones. Jones is tackled. Oh, no flag here.
Yeah, tackle by number 23.
Almost tackled out of
Julian
bounds.
Brown.
We're going to have a late hit here. Or?
You know, I don't know if he didn't let go when he got out of bounds. I'm not sure what the deal is. It looked to me like the back didn't stop either, so I'm not sure which way it's going here.
And that's hard if you're a back and the guy's fighting. You can't see where you are, until you hear the whistle. And sometimes the whistles aren't.
Yeah, well, it's going to go against the Big Reds, so that field position just took a bad turn for him here.
Call was a personal foul on for Huron at 15 yards.
Well, it is called a personal foul against the Big Reds. It'll move the ball out to the 34-yard line of Anchor Bay. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Tars.
Yep, maybe the camera crew, and maybe they got a good shot on that. Either, Aaron Bettinger, Cecilia Gaglio, Josiah Creedler, or Sean Went. Maybe they got a good shot of that, and people will see that better than we did from way over here.
Okay, coming to this side is number 13, Nicholas Black for the Tars. Height at quarterback. He's going to roll right. Ball is intended for number 10.
Yep, good pressure by
That's Perry.
by Dominic Schultz, number 9.
Ball is incomplete.
Zach Height's pass intended for it. Perry.
Height's pass again incomplete to Perry. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Tars. Defensively, the Big Reds, they're doing a nice job here.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't, other than that one drive, the TD drive, Anchor Bay's not moved the ball other than right here with the big penalty.
Black split out here to the right. Height drops back, looking for number 4. That's Jones. Ball is thrown a little bit too high. It'll be incomplete.
Yeah, and he was well covered by Jared Chapman.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Tars here. They had some success, the Tars did earlier in the first half, handing the ball off to Perry. We haven't seen very much of him in this quarter. Well, we got Jones coming out here. Looked like he was going to be split, but now he's going to go to the left side in the slaughter as a wing. We've got motion here. Quarterback looking deep for number 5. Covered very well there.
Yeah, covered well by Ty King.
Taj King on the coverage. That'll be incomplete for Anchor Bay. That'll bring up a 4th down. Now again, last time they punted, they didn't have very much success. The ball, I think it went for 10 yards. Bailey didn't connect on it. Hopefully we'll get something here going again. We've got Chapman deep for the Big Reds, number 6. That's Jared Chapman. Oh, the ball is almost blocked.
Well, I'll tell you, they've been close, and I think they were going after it that time. And of course, it's created a poor punt.
Yeah, it was about an 11-yard punt. So again, the Big Reds will have really good field position.
Yes, they will.
We've got 2:31 left in the third quarter. Anchor Bay is leading this game 7-0. Port Huron High will take over on their own, looks like about 47-yard line. Or on Anchor Bay's 47-yard line, I'm sorry. Okay, we've got Zmalik, Chapman, and Chapman to the right. We've got Chapman split to this side left. Black at quarterback. Black's looking to his right. Ball's intended for number 10, Mark Chapman. Incomplete.
Yeah, pretty good protection. And I must say it was decent coverage too, but a catch would have put a few more yards closer to that first down.
Again, we have second down and 10. Chapman split to this side. Zmalik and Chapman and Robotham to the right. Black at quarterback. Black fakes the handoff to Watkins, keeps it himself for a gain of about 3.
And brought down by Aaron Perry of Anchor Bay, number 58.
Justin Black on the keeper, brought down by
That'll bring up third down and 9
Aaron Berry.
for the Big Reds.
Third and 9 for
Again, Watkins is going to be to the left of Black. Same receiver set. Black looking at the quarterback, making sure he's got things that he wants called. Black looking to pass again. Looking deep for...
Nice catch.
Wow, Zmalik, great catch. Great catch by Alex Zmalik. Went up and took it away from the defender.
You know, he was pretty well covered actually by number 8, Carson Persinski, who finally did make the tackle. But that was a great catch.
That was a great catch. And he actually threw that ball where no one else could get it. Great pass by Black to Zmalik. Big play here. Makes it first and goal. The ball's on about the 9-yard line for the Big Reds. Split wide to this side is Jarrett Chapman. In the slots, Robotham and Winslow Chapman. Black takes the ball, hands off to number 1. He looks like he's got a hole.
Oh.
That's Watkins. Watkins carries, spinning, fighting all the way down to the, looks like 1-yard line.
Boy, and Gage Ruthven, number 5, he hung in there. He had a couple of Big Reds near him, but one was behind, so he couldn't block him. But he mainstayed the block and did a nice job there right at the end.
Ball's on the 2. In the backfield now we have Dominic Schultz along with Watkins. Ball looks like it hit the ground there, Coach. Picked it up.
Sorry, I couldn't see it.
Watkins on the carry.
The booth has a wall here instead of a window where I need it.
Looked like it dropped on the ground. That's got to give Coach an extra heartbeat or 2 there. It'll be third down and goal. Ball's on the 2. We got Schultz again in the backfield with Watkins. Black calling the shots here. Black hands off to Watkins again. And Watkins is stuffed by number 4.
And 20, 4 and 20 both. Jones and Lewis.
We'll
The
see where
snap
they-
seemed a little bit low again. So I don't know. Maybe they're playing around on the defensive line there.
Well, he got a good spot on that as far as forward momentum. The ball will be placed down, it looks like, on about the 3-yard line. That's the end of the third quarter. Boy, Delk, that quarter went very quickly.
It did. Both teams had the ball a few times so far, but again, not a lot of first downs, only a couple by each team, and one by Anchor Bay was because of a penalty from PH. So
Ladies and gentlemen, get out your 50-50 tickets. We'll give you
offensively,
that number in just a moment.
it's I kind of thought it was going to be a little more up and down the field tonight, but the defenses are playing well, and the offenses are having enough miscues that they're struggling.
Well, both coaches will get their teams together here and get them organized for this all-important fourth down. It'll be interesting here to see what the Big Reds do. They're trailing by 7. The ball is on about the, looks like 4-yard line, 3.5-yard line. It'll be 4th and goal. Again, trailing by 7. I'm sure they want to get the ball in the end zone. But even if they kick a field goal, they still have to score again anyway. So it's interesting to see what they do here.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to go for it. It's a big play, real big play.
Well, what do you think? Some kind of a rollout with Black? He's got some speed.
Well,
he's got the
you know,
ability
I
to
certainly would do some kind of a play where there's a run-pass option.
or have the ball go to Chapman. He can throw the ball as well.
Exactly.
You know.
Oh, no, they're going to call a timeout. It was a much different set for PH. They
Yep.
had like a deep eye.
Yep.
Timeout, Anchor Bay.
Yeah, when you
haven't seen that tonight.
right, like we were saying, and once you put
50 number,
Jared Chapman back into that eye, now you've got the threat of a throw because he can throw the ball, and he does have the speed to turn the corner and go. I mean, that's a nice option. So with a timeout here at Anchor Bay, it looks like that's going to be their last one, Craig, for the game. So it's their third timeout again if the scoreboard is correct. The Big Reds still have 2 to go. It'll be 4th down when we resume play. The ball's on the 3.5-yard line. Looks like the Big Reds were lined up there to go for the score here, the touchdown. We'll see what they come out in here. You know, the other thing too is the ball looks like it's almost over toward the left hash. If they were to run like a sweep type play or an sweep option this way and give Chapman the choice of throwing it or running it, they've got the wide side of the field. Okay, Black is now under center. One of the first times we've seen him narrow this year. He fakes Chapman. Play action pass. Touchdown. Big Reds. Beautiful play action pass.
Number 9, Dominic Schultz.
Dominic Schultz on the reception.
Yeah, that's actually it was a pretty simple play. I mean, he took the snap, took a couple steps back, and let it go, and it was like a 3-yard out, 4-yard out.
Well, they had to respect Chapman coming up in the middle. They kind of clogged that in on the snap of the ball, gave him the chance to step back and hit Schultz on called a 3.5, 4-yard touchdown pass. Kicking for the Big Reds. We have a penalty flag down. Kicking for the Big Reds is number 5, Donnie Rock. On the hold is Black. No, on the hold is Black. There's a penalty on the play. Now what do you do, Duck? If it's half the distance, still kick it?
Yeah, I don't think I'd move the ball either. Just stay where you regularly kick it. I guess that's an option you can do now.
Oh, really? Okay.
They don't
decline it.
Yeah, and you don't have to have move the ball.
Well, it looks like they're going to move it up, and
oh, they are. Okay.
So will
well,
the holder, Justin Black, moved his tee up. Kicking is Donald Rock for the Big Reds. Ball is down. It's up. And it's good. Snapping on that play, Connor Palmatier. That's one of the big 3 people that's important for a PAT or field goal. The center, the holder, and the kicker.
Well, we got a dozen minutes left here and see what team's going to take over.
Well, again, Port Huron High's had some good field position here. With 11:56 left here in the fourth quarter, they tied this game up with Anchor Bay. This is a conference game for both teams. They're in the MAC Blue Division. And if I remember right, Craig, I think both teams are coming into this ball game 1-1. Is that correct? Is that your recollection?
I think that's right, yeah. You know, and I'll tell you, Tom, defensively for Port Huron High, they're doing a nice job, and especially when they get Anchor Bay in that 4th down situation where they have to punt. That punter's got the jitters, And I'd be coming after him. Of course, you don't want to get that penalty, roughing the kicker, but well, I'll tell you, right now I'd make them have a good punt before I'd let up on them.
Kicking for the Big Reds is number 5, Don Rock. He did the extra point as well. You're right. When you look at the three phases of the game, offense, defense, kicking game, right now, Port Huron High is doing very well and I guess I could say all three of them, really. I mean, offensively, they're doing okay. Defensively, they're playing well. And now they're actually, I'd say, give them the advantage definitely in the kicking game.
Yes, they have played better in the kicking game.
Deep for Anchor Bay is number 9, Drake, and number 5, Rulin Gage.
Seeing right here now, I don't know, Port Huron High, both teams don't seem to want to kick deep, so they must be afraid of the returns. But that gives them fairly decent field position.
Yes, let's see. It'll be 1st and 10 for Anchor Bay. The ball will be on the 32-yard line. Coming from out of the north end zone to the south. Quarterback is number 17, Zach Height. At fullback looks like number 10, Ed Payne. Height calling the signals. Height fakes or hands the ball off to Payne.
And again, initially there, I'll tell you, Chris Warsinski, he's been right there. He's been meeting that trap blocker very well.
Yes, they're doing a nice job of just clogging things up in there. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 for Anchor Bay. Coming to this side is Jones.
Anchor Bay's taking no splits in that.
Jones now going in motion. Oh, Zach Height's pass intended for Jones. Ball, I don't know if he heard some feet there, but that's a catchable ball. Should have been caught, but it wasn't, which brings up a 3rd down and 9 for Anchor Bay. Height taking a play from number 17. Height number 17 in at quarterback. Coming to this side is number 4, Tywan Jones. In the backfield, we've got Payne.
Well, here's a different set we've not seen. Oh, they're going to shift out of it. That's why.
Okay.
Oh, they got the Big Reds.
It's like an unbalance
around
here. They got an unbalance to this side.
Yeah.
Looks like a broken play.
Well, I think the quarterback wanted to roll out, but he got tripped up. And I'm not sure who did that, but
no.
I'll tell you, it was on number 77's side, and he's running off with a lot of hops. So I think he was in there again. Chris Warsinski.
Height tackle for a loss. It'll bring up 4th down and call it 12. Back deep for the Big Reds is Jarrett Trapman. He hasn't seen the ball too many times lately.
I don't think he's
going to punting.
Again, if Port Huron puts any kind of rush on here, I think this guy's nervous back there.
That was
he got it away.
Finally got it away. Now he should pick it up there, Mr. Chapman. Hang on to the ball.
Okay. He covered it, and quickly, good thing, because number 12 was right there on the coverage for Anchor Bay.
Well, Jared Chapman's he's got the right idea. He doesn't want to see that ball hit and roll and roll and roll, so he wanted to come in and at least stop it. But there were some people coming down fairly quickly. He dropped the ball but managed to recover it himself. So the Big Reds will start off with fairly decent field position. Looks like the ball's on about the 20-yard line coming out. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Big Reds. Getting their play call from Coach Mullins on the sideline. We got Robotham out there. Smolik. Chapman. Black takes the ball, hands off to Chapman.
Nice run.
Chapman
here we go.
On the outside, he could be gone.
It's a foot race.
Chapman's going up 45 to 40, down to the 35-yard line. Jarrett Chapman.
Number 5, Gage Roland took a great angle on that. I thought Chapman had him.
35-yard run, Craig. Chapman on a 35-yard run. That's a great play.
That's the kind of play you need to make a change in this game for you.
Well, we talked about some guys from Anchor Bay going both ways, and some of their key players I think are going both ways. And again, it comes down to some stamina here. We got Chapman in the backfield again with Black. Black fakes to Chapman, keeps it himself, runs to the left. Gains, give him 1.
Yeah. And we had Bailey and Drake on the tackle for Anchor Bay.
It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Big Reds. Number 6, Chapman's in the backfield. Smolak split left. Here to the right, looks like Robotham. Chapman moves over here to the right-hand side. Ball is snapped to Black, rolls to his right, looking for number 8.
Nice catch.
Robotham, nice catch, nice sliding catch for Robotham.
Yeah, it wasn't bad coverage by Anchor Bay, but threw the ball right where he needed to throw it. Nice catch.
Looks like the Big Reds are having some success here just with a little pitch and catch here. Smolak split wide to the left, and the slot is Robotham. Down here at the bottom is Mark Chapman. In the backfield is number 6, Jarrett Chapman, along with Black. Number 5 is also in the slot. That's Donnie Rock. Black takes the ball, fakes off to Chapman. Stuck there pretty well by number 9.
Was it 9? Yep, okay. Matt Drake, nice stick. That was a good-looking play, except for that.
Yeah. 4th down and about 1. Looks like a long one. See what the Big Reds have in store here. Smolak split wide to the left. Chapman split here to the right. That's Mark. Jarrett moves over here to the right side, Chapman. Black takes the snap. Hands it off to Chapman. It's going to be close.
Yeah.
It's going to be close. I don't see anybody from Anchor Bay pointing.
No, I don't either. 58.
Like it's a first
Aaron
down for
Berry
them.
closed it down. He closed it down pretty tight, but it is going to be close.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout here for a measurement.
Could be the difference of how that ball got set down on the grass there, I'll tell you. That's a close one.
Connor Palmatier, Ali Fayed. We've got, who else we got? Drummond, Richard Drummond, 79 for the Big Reds. 51, Kyle Moran. Glenn Hartman.
The Big Reds didn't make it. That's a tough one.
How much was it short by? I didn't see it.
It could
Not
have
by
been
much,
more
right?
than an inch or two.
Well, 7:27 left here to go in the 4th quarter. We've got a tie game. Port Huron High is at 7, Anchor Bay's at 7. I'd say this half has kind of, well, not kind of, it's been dominated by the Big Reds. They've just had a couple key mistakes at key times. Anchor Bay comes out. Split to the right is Jones. It's an interesting backfield set, isn't it? Jones is wide open down the middle. Ball is going to be thrown to Jones, and he's hit and knocked out of bounds and into the stands, and I think that's a little bit of melodramatic there.
Yeah, and we got a penalty here, too. It's a big rush by Port Huron High, and I think they may have.
There's another flag here. Might be a bench flag. Well, we'll have to let them iron it out. Anyway, it was quite a pass there for Anchor Bay. Was height to Jones. for an apparent first down, but let's sort all these flags out. They haven't moved the.
Yeah, actually, it was a pretty decent rush by the Big Reds, but like I said, I think they may have hit the quarterback after the throw, and I don't know what the penalty is over on the sideline.
Looked like Jones kind of snuck in behind the defenders with some play action fake here. A lot of discussion out here. It was a, let's see, 10, 20, 34, 35-yard gain if it stands. But again, we've got a flag down in the Big Red backfield. And we've got a flag down here at the 40-yard line where he was driven out of bounds. Be interesting to see how this all sorts out.
And once again, penalties are going to play a big role in field position or stopping or making a drive go.
Well, let's see. The nice part is that they have not yet, the downs people were pretty smart not to move the chains at all until they sort this out.
All right.
Looks like it's going to be against the Big Reds. They're speaking to the Tars quarterback, Height, here, number 17. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, we got personal foul against the Big Reds. Declined.
Something doesn't seem right. They're walking back there.
Okay, now what I didn't see the, what are they calling here?
Personal foul penalty against Port Huron declined. Unsportsmanlike penalty against Anchor Bay.
Oh, so they're going to bring the ball up there and then walk it back. I think that's what's going to happen.
So it will be a first down.
It'll be a first at about the 43 or so. Because see that the second penalty would have been a dead ball foul.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be about the 43. Yep. Well, interesting. Interesting. Well, that's a break for the Big Reds, actually.
Yes,
it will be a 1st and 10, however, with 7:20 left for Anchor Bay. Height, it's your quarterback. Split wide to the right is number 4, Taiwan Jones. Ball's handed off to number 5.
He was chased down by Zamalik.
That's Gage Rulin.
And
Gage Rowland, the ball carrier.
And the Big Reds on the last couple plays have actually stunted. And the stunner was close, but that one he didn't make, so he got through the line.
Ouch, that hurts. Well, that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Tars. Ball is on the 22-yard line. Height's in there at quarterback. Split wide to this side is Jones. In the backfield is number 13. That's Black. Number 10, Perry.
Okay.
He's ruling the ball carrier.
Roland's the ball carrier. Looks like he gained about 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Well, the Big Reds need to come up with a big defensive play here. A sack, a fumble, interception.
Jones split wide to the right. Height hands off again to number 5. That's Roland.
Again, good charge by Chris Rosensky, but I think he was finally stopped by LaForge.
Big play here, 3rd down and 8. I don't know. I didn't watch anything in a pregame, Craig, as far as them having any kind of a kicker. But we got 3rd down and 8. The ball's on the 19-yard line.
They seem like they kicked the extra point strong, so maybe they got a field goal attempt.
Jones split to the right. Ball's handed
Quick
off to the
handoff,
fullback,
but
number 10. That's Payne.
Once again, Chris
Stuffed.
Wersensky was in there making contact. He didn't make the wrap-up, but he stopped the. With Schultz making the final tackle, but Wersensky's having a heck of a game in the line there. Looks like he's slanting, and he's not getting blocked much by the offensive tackle there.
Well, it's going to be 4th down and 5. The ball's spotted on the 17. That'd be a 34-yarder, Craig, if they were to kick it, right? 17 plus 10 plus 7.
Yeah, that's a big field goal for high school, unless they've got soccer kickers, which they might have.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they have. They're going to bring one out.
No.
Height and a quarterback. He's going to roll out here. Open is number 4.
Oh, goodness. All by himself
Wow.
in the end zone. He got behind people.
Jones, Taiwan Jones on the reception there.
Nice adjustment by him to make the catch.
Yeah, that's the kind, when the ball is there in the air that long with nobody around, you have a lot of times you have too much time to think. But he was able to pull that in for the score. So Anchor Bay scores here with 4:31 left here in the 4th quarter. The score currently now is 13 for Anchor Bay, 7 for the Big Reds. In to kick the extra point is number 22. We tried to find his number or his name before and we couldn't. But we do know that on the hold is Perninski. Carson Perzinski. Kick is down, it's up, and it's good. So with 4:31 left here in the 4th quarter, Anchor Bay Tars 14, Port Huron High Big Reds 7. Well, Craig, we've got lots of time left in this game, especially with a quarterback that can run and throw as well as Black. They've got the speedy receivers. You got the Chapman boys. They've got Watkins in the backfield. They got Robotham and Zmalik. Some good receivers there. Plenty of time to score. The big key, I think, is going to be see what they get here on a return. They haven't. I don't think they've tried to kick it deep to the Big Reds because I think they respect their speed. Now might be the time that they have to, because field position is going to be a key here.
Yeah. And actually, the Big Reds have the tools. It's just whether they have the poise right now. They've got to suck it up, not make mistakes. They've shot themselves in the foot offensively here this 4th quarter and a couple of chances, so they need to put it together. There's no doubt in my mind they can move the ball.
Oh, absolutely.
They just can't stop themselves with mistakes.
And the other thing that's important we talked about earlier was that the Big Reds have done a nice job of saving their timeouts. They've got, again, if the clock's right, they've got 2 timeouts remaining. Deep for the Big Reds are Chapman.
Wow,
they're going to get great field position here.
Yeah,
recovering that.
He almost missed that ball.
Mark Chapman recovered that. I don't know. It almost looks like they've had some real skill players in there to receive that kick. I can't imagine they were anticipating a onside kick. However, the Big Reds take over here, 1st and 10. Great field position. The ball's on the 43-yard line. Split wide here is Chapman. In the slot is Robotham. The other Chapman's inside tighter, and split wide is Zmalik to the left. In the backfield with Black is Watkins. Black will take over with quick screen with 4:23 left.
Yep. Tackled by Melvin Bailey, a hustle over from the linebacker position.
Robotham on the reception there for a gain of about 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
And I'll tell you, the secondary, they're giving a pretty good cushion. Now, they might tighten it up a little bit here, but the cushion they're given might leave that, that 6 to 7 yard pass open right down the field.
Black on the snap. Throws to Chapman. Chapman tackled. Did he get out of bounds?
I didn't think he did, but it's first down.
Yeah, they're going to stop the clock. with 6:48 left. You know, Chapman was kind of out here on an island against the Anchor Bay defender.
Right, and he's giving him a cushion. I mean, he's giving him an 8-yard cushion.
Jarrett split wide to the top now. Down here to the bottom will be Winslow Chapman. In the slot, we've got Robotham and Chapman. Black, nobody in the backfield. And motions Chapman.
Oh.
The
Wow.
fake is to Chapman.
76 must have sniffed that baby out right away because he was right there. Chris Dodd of Anchor Bay. I still think the cushion they're given, they look like they might be lining up a little different this time.
Winslow, Chapman, and Zmalik. Okay, now Zmalik's down here closest to us. We've got Robotham, Chapman at the top of the screen. In the backfield is Watkins with Black.
Four-man rush.
Black's looking.
Oh,
They got it! Great
Beautiful.
catch by number 6, Jarrett Chapman. Beautiful.
Yes,
catch.
it was. I feel the D-back mistimed his jump there, and Chapman ended up with the ball.
Great play. Great play by the Big Reds. That was great concentration by Chapman.
Yes, it was.
Never gave up on the ball. In the kick for the Big Reds is Donnie Rock. In to hold is Black. Again, the center is number 54. That's Connor Palmatier. Big snap and hold here. Kick is up. Oh, it's off the post, and it's good.
Good. Oh, my goodness.
Off the left upright, and it's good. Well, that's a great drive there. Quick one. We made the statement earlier that the Big Reds can score quickly. They've got the ability to do it. And they've come back here and they've tied the game with 2:33 left here in the fourth quarter. 14-14. Now the Big Reds still have 2 timeouts remaining. Anchor Bay does not have any. Port Huron High will be kicking up out of their south, out of the south here to the north end zone to Anchor Bay.
You know, Big Reds look pretty sharp on offense when they don't make mistakes to hurt themselves. They look pretty good drive there.
Well, again, that's a show of a poised team that okay, you're down by 7, you got 3 minutes left or so, and you don't panic, take your time, do what you do best. And again, they had to respect the run a little bit, and some of the play action passes that they've had have been great. Kicking off for the Big Reds is Donnie Rock. Need some good coverage here by the Big Reds.
Well, they haven't kicked one real deep yet.
Well,
And the Anchor Bay's not putting anybody. I mean, they got everybody 25 yards. Well, maybe 20 now. They're going to back up.
yeah, they got Jones and Drake. If you want to call it deep.
If they
but
could
they're
get a
the
nice
ones in the
little
back.
pooch kick that might bounce a little bit, that'd be nice. No, they're going to be off sides, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're off sides.
Well, the kicker, again, Donnie
Yeah, he
Rock
hesitated.
hesitated, and they had their timing and they were coming up.
But I think they had more than one guy off sides. They had it on the other side and on this side, I think, both.
No, it's 5 yards. It's not the end of the world.
And once again, Edward Senek, production supervisor, and his crew, they're giving this all to you on the good shots. Chad Schuler, E.J. Shea, Chris Oriel, Emily Desmet, Sean Wendt, Josiah Creedler, Cecilio Gaglio, and Aaron Betzinger. Sorry, Aaron.
Okay, Donald Rock will tee it up again for the Big Reds. We'll do it over again. Deep again are number 9, Drake, and number 4, Jones for Anchor Bay. Again, it's a game of field position. We've got 2:33 left.
Boy, they're leaving a lot of green from the hash marks out all the way from the 35. Well, now they're widening out, but
That's going to be out of bounds.
Yep, so that'll be a flag and where's it going to put it? 40-yard line?
40-yard line, I believe, 40? Isn't it?
Well, you don't have to worry about anybody making a big return on that.
Nope,
but
that's
the
true.
field position is going to be decent.
Yeah. Well.
Or can they make them kick it again? They are going to make them kick it again if the coach gets his choice over there.
You might be right. I'm trying to look here. Is the official here? Is that Talmadge? Like
yes, it is.
Oh, that's an interesting. That's an interesting call by the Anchor Bay coach. Actually, it's a good call by the Anchor Bay coach.
Well, they're going to get themselves in a situation where they can't just pooch it. It'll be good field position, and if they kick it to one of these return guys, which they seemed like they didn't want to do all game, might not be the situation they want to be in. So they've put themselves in a hole here.
Well, we'll do it again. Don Rocco tee it up. Jones and Drake deep. They're lined up at about the 30, between the 30 and 35-yard line.
And they got to be careful because I think they were almost offsides again. As the kicker's running up, and I think he's trying to place it so much he slows down a bit, and the cover guys aren't ready for that.
There. Drake's the ball carrier.
Yep, good coverage. Initially hit, wrapped up there by 14 King, and then a Holst.
Okay, it'll be 1st and 10 for Anchor Bay. There's 2:27 left in the game. The ball's on the 44-yard line. So, Craig, if what happens here if Anchor Bay, if the Big Reds can hold them here? What do we got?
Well, I think we'd have some overtime unless they hold them right here without a first down at all. Then the Big Reds will have they'll have some time to man a drive themselves. So hopefully Anchor Bay won't get a first down, and we'll see the Big Reds get a shot at trying to win the game in regulation time.
Well, there's no doubt if they get the ball back, they've got the ability to score quickly.
They've got to be careful here, though, because they can't fall asleep because Anchor Bay, they want to get down to the end zone just as bad. So let's hang in their defense.
Well, Jones here is covered by Chapman. The ball's going to be run by number 5. That's
it was brought down by Winslow Chapman.
Gage Rowland.
After a pretty big gain.
Gage Rowland was the ball carrier. It'll be down to the 37-yard line of the Big Reds. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 37 with 2:15 and counting on the clock. Anchor Bay breaks the huddle. Split wide to the right is Jones. And off again is number 5.
Same play, just the other way. Okay, initially brought down by
Rowland.
By Dominic Schultz. But the Big Reds have got to mount something here because they're allowing Anchor Bay to chew up some yardage here.
Well, not only that, but if they continue to do the yardage and the clock, in the event they score, it's not going to leave much time left for the Big Reds. But the defense has done a nice job all night long. Let's hope they come together here and hold it together for another minute 20.
Well,
Like a
quarterback's
pass.
keeping it. They had him well covered.
Got very well covered.
Yep.
Pass was intended for Jones. Covered there by Chapman.
Right.
And
And
Taj King.
in this situation, you wouldn't expect the Big Reds to do anything else. I mean, to give Jones a chance to be wide open. So,
Right.
that was a good move, but they still have to cover that run.
Exactly.
So, but now it's a little different story with third down. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah, we've got third down and it looks like about 4. Minute 12 left in the game. Ball's on the 31-yard line of the Big Reds. Looks like another trap play.
Oh.
Ball's carried by number 5.
Yeah.
He got lit up there.
I think they're going to say the whistle.
Gage Rulon got lit up. I didn't see who had the big stick on him. The ball did come loose,
I didn't
but
either.
they must have said he stopped the forward progress. Question is, did he have enough for a first down? Looks like they're going to call an official's timeout to measure.
It's going to be real close.
And we got a minute 4 left on the clock.
And they forced the back to cut back, and they still almost had him stop, but he broke a tackle, and then they blew the whistle.
What Gage is doing at Gage Rulon, he's doing a nice job of covering the ball up, so you really can't see it.
First down. Wow.
Well, the downs, you don't want to give them another chance at downs. However, I don't know if the downs are as important now as the clock. Got a minute 4 left. Just try to keep the ball in front of them as best they can. And the clock is winding down. We've got a minute left in the game. So the longer Anchor Bay takes in the huddle, the better we like it.
Yep. Somebody's got to make a big play here for the Big Reds. Stumble somebody up, make that fumble happen before the whistle.
They got Jones split out to the right. He's the guy they've been trying to get the ball to. Again, it's handed off to Gage Rulon.
Good job by Chapman.
Yep.
Winslow Chapman. Uh-oh. I know
You have a penalty.
he tackled him a
Let's
little
see what
bit
it is.
high. Hopefully it wasn't a face mask or helmet tackle. Yep, that might have been the case. That was
We're
good.
talking to Anchor Bay. Let's see what it is here.
Yeah,
It's holding.
Personal foul, face mask.
Oh, face mask.
yeah, I thought it might be on the tackle there. He was a little high on the tackle. It was good play. Just got his hands in the wrong spot.
Yeah, it's a big penalty for the Big Reds. Moves the ball down to the 14-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 with 36 ticks left on the clock. And again, no timeouts for Anchor Bay. So the clock is not their friend right now. Split wide here is Jones. Under center is number 17, Height.
I'm surprised you didn't see that
number
run.
5. That's Gage Rulon.
Tackled by Dominic Schultz and Mike LaForge.
That Rulon's, he's been their go-to guy here, hasn't he? Okay,
Yeah, they
quarterback
spiked the ball.
spikes the ball with 15 seconds left. Well, what do you call here, Coach?
Well, I think they'll be rolling out and throwing the ball in the end zone twice. I don't know if they try to, even though they've had some success with that sweep play, if they don't get it in, the game's not over. Regulation time's over, but be looking at some overtime.
Wow, they're bringing in the kicker now with 3rd down. Now,
Oh, okay. Well, you
generally
got to be
speaking-
ready for a fake then.
right. Generally speaking, when they bring a kicker in on 3rd down, it's in case they have a bad snap or a bad hold, they don't have to kick the ball and they still get an extra chance to try to kick it.
Right. Or you can run a fake.
Or you can run a fake. If they run a fake, I'm buying McDonald's or Burger King for you on the way home.
Hey, you know what, though? I just saw a flag
Yep.
in the end of the end zone. Too
Delay
much
a game.
time. Delay a game.
Ouch. Well, that's good for the Big Reds. So let's see. The ball will be snapped at the 10. Add 7. That's 17. Another 10, 27-yard field goal.
You know what? I can see a block coming on right now.
26
Big
yard
Red's
field
got it in them. They got it in them.
Just don't jump.
The kicker's a little close.
No good. Although there is a penalty flag down.
Oh, I don't even want to think what I'm thinking because I think the Big Reds may have been offsides.
We do have a flag here. Must be against the Big Reds.
Yeah, I think they encroached a little early.
You're right.
But you know what? They can do it again.
Yep.
In fact, this time maybe they can block it and run it, return it.
Well, you wonder if the Big Reds will call a timeout here. Maybe try to ice the guy a little bit. I don't know. Sometimes he's kind of in a rush. It seems like. Okay. Number 24 is the kicker. Ryan Carrier for Anchor Bay. Oh, it hit the upright. Oh, and it fell through.
Wow, just like the extra point.
That's 2 kicks that hit the upright and fell in.
There's something about the left uprights tonight.
Oh, that's number 24 for Anchor Bay.
Well, the Big Reds are going to have time for they can
Ryan
down the
Carrier.
kickoff and maybe get 2 pass plays. 1 for sure.
That's true. That's true. I'm sure that's what the coaches for Port Huron High are talking to him about. Stop the clock right away. I'm sure they might not even let him run it back, right? Stop the clock and get a couple pass plays off. Because if you run it with 9 seconds left, that'll probably only leave you with 1 shot at the end zone, right?
Yeah, if it's not kicked too deep and you down it, you might get 2 shots. But if you run the ball at all, you're probably only going to get 1, if that. You'd have to be calling a timeout as he gets tackled.
Looks like Kevin Golding is in the, I don't know if he's the special teams coach. Can't tell if that's Kevin or not, but Coach Mullins down there as well. We got Chapman and Chapman back. Winslow and Jarrett for the Big Reds.
Well, they're anticipating a squib, it looks like. Now, the one thing is the clock doesn't start until somebody touches it.
Right. Kicking is number 44. Bailey kicks a little squib kick. Looks like they're going to try to return it. Ball's.
Oh, I don't know. He didn't get any yardage, and he used 3 seconds.
6 seconds left.
Yeah, I think you're looking at 1 play. I don't know. You got
1, maybe 2.
maybe two, but 1 for sure.
And I'm sure that Coach Mullins got something that he's planned in a situation like this.
Yeah, hopefully. You never know. You know, a double pass, flea flicker.
Well, again, remember you got Chapman who can throw the ball, who's down here. Could be a double pass, but Anchor Bay has really put a prevent on. They've got guys back.
Well, they're going to have to catch the ball and get out of bounds. Oh, and he had to throw it to the middle, and he overthrew.
Wow, we got 1 second left. Pass was intended for Robotham. Incomplete. Well, we're down to 1 final play here, and the Big Reds are going to call a timeout. Well, it's been a hard-fought game for both teams. Unfortunately, there were, I think, some mistakes made at key times that I think affected the Big Reds probably more than Anchor Bay. What would you say, Craig?
Well, I think, yeah, maybe. I know they, penalty-wise,
That's what I'm speaking of, penalties.
Penalty-wise, I think they each gave the other team a score because of a penalty, big penalty here or there. And I think on that last drive there, the PH had a penalty and it helped them. And then they, he missed the extra or the field goal and they had a penalty, so they give him another chance. So penalties definitely hurt them. And then they had the fumble deep, well, actually into the end zone early in the game, so that hurt them when they were down there. So, yeah, mistakes and penalties, I think, in the long run have probably hurt the Big Reds a little bit more tonight. And if they can clean those up, they're going to be a fine team.
They are. They're a good football team.
It's hard to overcome some penalties, and some of theirs were big.
Okay, Black back to throw again. Throws to Chapman. Looks like they were trying to set up the flea flicker. Well, we got
to try something.
What was the name of that team that did this?
It was
Chapman looking to pitch again. Well,
no, that changes that.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of excitement.
His was a forward toss. It was an attempt, about the only play they could do, and that's too bad because it's just, I realize the game cannot end on a defensive penalty, but I'm quite sure that flag was the forward lateral by number 70.
Yeah, I think you might be right. It was a good game to watch. There's no doubt about it. Both teams, I think, are going to win their share of games this year. I think they were both evenly matched teams. Actually, I thought Port Huron High, showed some great things tonight. They definitely have a nice receiving corps. Defensively, I thought they played real well. I mean, it was just a good game to watch.
Yeah. Well, that's high school football, and it's Friday night, and I'm sorry the Big Reds didn't come up with a win. They'll get their fair share of wins. They just got to eliminate a few penalties and mistakes.
Yep.
Well, thanks, Tom. I really enjoyed doing this with you.
Well, yeah, it was fun. I hope we didn't blow it too much. Before we go, I'd like to say that remind people too that the Port Huron Sports Hall of Fame is having their enshrinement dinner, their 34th annual enshrinement dinner, Saturday, October 30th, at the Thomas Edison Inn, and the guest speaker is Detroit Red Wings Joey Koser. So, those of you who are interested in tickets, contact the Palmer Park Recreation Office. Again, it's $30 for the Port Huron Sports Hall of Fame dinner.
Hey, and I'd like to one more time thank the Ed Senate crew tonight, the camera crew, Aaron Benzinger, Aaron again, Cecilia Gaglio, Josiah Creedler, Sean Wendt, Emily Desmet, Chris Orell, E.J. Shea, and Chad Schuler. Fine job, and I know that the folks enjoy the viewing you bring them over Channel 6.
Well, Craig, again, thanks a lot. This is Tom Rodenbaugh, along with Craig Delkey. Final score, Anchor Bay 17, Port Huron High 14. Great contest. Thanks for being with us. Good night and drive safely.
Have a good weekend.